Alright, we're making videos and shit, so... Yeah, my microwave just finished cooking something. It's gonna take it a while. Let me actually take it out of the microwave so it can cool off faster. Man, I am set up in this truck. I really like, everything that I have. I got my refrigerator. The picture quality. I've got the quality set so low on this that that thing's. I got half of those in the fridge, but I got DirecTV with pretty much every channel, all the movie channels, NFL Sunday Ticket if NFL ever happens again. We got my PlayStation, the old school PlayStation, the PlayStation 3, because I play NCAA 14. I didn't bother bringing my Xbox. It's the latest and greatest Xbox version. I don't really play anything on that. But my microwave, and this is my pile of junk. This is where I store most everything. I didn't even bother unbagging all of my groceries that I got when I was on home time. All my plates and plasticware and stuff up there. Keep my shower bag up at the top of that. I don't really keep anything in here. I need to get a net so I can actually put stuff in there. I brought some hangers so I can hang up my coats and stuff, but I haven't gotten around to it. That's pretty much it. That's the grand tour. That's all the space I really have. But I've made like 15 to 20 videos that I have not uploaded because I keep getting interrupted. Like I'll be making the video and then I'll get a phone call from a shipper, receiver, or dispatcher or somebody. And I don't edit videos or anything, so like once a video gets screwed up, I just delete it. So what's going on? So I think the last video I made was like Tuesday, and it is now Sunday. So it's been several days since my last video. Like I've tried to make videos to try to document everything that's going on, but like I said, I just keep getting interrupted. I've just been going and going and going, and I mean, it's not like, I don't want it to sound like I've been running my ass off and making tons of money, because I haven't. I've been really busy doing petty stupid crap, like trying to find an empty trailer, or dealing with the shop trying to get stuff fixed and things like that. So I haven't actually been running that hard. I've just been dealing with a lot of drama. In the trucking industry, for some weird reason, it doesn't really follow labor laws where you get paid for all of your time that you're working. They are able to pay this stupid performance pay crap, where you're paid only when you're driving the truck, and you're paid on a mileage rate, to where you have to be going over a certain speed to make minimum wage. So I do a tremendous amount of, like, I only did 1,700 paid miles this past week. But I guarantee you I worked just as hard this week as the week that I got 3,400 paid miles. But my check's going to be half. I think it was $1,560 was my check last week. The check this upcoming week is going to be like $750. So, if it's that, like, I'm not going to make... I've already made a video about how stupid the performance or incentive pay is at USA Truck. It's not an incentive, it's a punishment. If you don't run over, if you get very few miles, not only are you going to get a smaller check because you didn't get many miles, but they're going to change your rate of pay, and they're only going to give you your base rate of pay. The base rate of pay is really, really low, 40 cents a mile. You're expected to run 2,800 miles and make 46 cents a mile. Well, if you're unable to run for the 2,800 miles, you're gonna double dip on getting screwed. So, a little salty about how few miles I got last week, and the poor trip planning I dealt with, and I'm constantly looking at other options, other companies to go to, and I haven't seen an option that's just far superior. There's like, looking at Schneider, their trucks are governed at like 63 miles an hour. That's going to be frustrating. That's going to be annoying. That's going to affect the amount of miles I can do in a week. And they have they have a few things about them that make it to where it would probably be very similar to how it is here. Like their advertised fleet averages, whenever you look at their job opportunities pages, the mileage that they advertise that you can run in their fleets are really low. Like, I'm pissed off that I'm only getting 1,700 miles. I want to get 3,000 miles a week. And they're advertising that their fleets are getting like 2,100 miles a week. I would not be happy with that. I'd be looking for another job if I was only getting 2,100 miles a week. But, so, I mean, I'm always going to be looking, but I haven't seen anything that makes it worth jumping ships. There's two big reasons on why moving, switching jobs right now for me would be a huge decision, and there would have to be like an amazing opportunity, or USA Truck would have to be really, really bad for me to jump ship. And those two reasons, number one, is my whole plan is to become an owner-operator. The next step in my plan is, so let's go through the plan real quick. First part of the plan was to get my finances in order and, get everything settled with my previous employer and get in a position where I could quit that job and have enough funding to finance my transition. That was step one. Step two was going through CDL school and getting my license. Well, step two is actually getting all my permits and my TWIC cards, my passports, and everything like that. So that was step two. Step three was a CDL school and getting my CDL. Step four was going through training to where I could be a solo company driver. Step five is being a solo company driver and getting the experience necessary to lease. That's where I'm at right now, is getting the experience necessary to lease. So the next step is to actually lease. So I plan on leasing with USA Truck before I lease on with another carrier. And that carrier that I plan on leasing on with after USA Truck is Landstar. One of the things Landstar is picky about is job hopping. They want to see stability because they don't want people that are just constantly going to the next great thing. They want people that are planning on staying with Landstar for a long time. Because one of the reasons Landstar is able to get such amazing rates is their reputation. And part of the reason they have a good reputation is they have a lot of tenured drivers that stay with them for long periods of time. So I don't want to job hop and negatively affect my ability to get on with Landstar. So that's number one. I don't want to, like, if I job hop to Schneider and then I find out Schneider is worse than USA Truck and I'm only making like $600 a week there and I have to move to another company, then that may affect my ability to get hired on a Landstar. I think just moving over to one company from where I'm at right now wouldn't be too big of a deal. But if I move to a company and find out the grass is not as green over there as they say it is, and then I have to move to another one, then that could look really bad on my application to Landstar. Number two reason is, it should be obvious what number two reason is. What's the biggest damn thing going on in the world right now? What is everybody talking about? The Wuhan virus. Now is a really, really, really bad time to be looking for a job. So if you have a job and you're making ends meet with that job, you should probably stick with that job as long as you can. Don't burn any bridges right now. This could last quite a while. So that's reason number two. So I'm always looking for other jobs, but I don't know if it'll actually happen. What else we got going on here? Oh, that guy's chilling on his phone. The yard dog came over and was like, you better not be dumping shit on the ground out here. I'll get to that story in a minute. So what did I do for my last video? I don't even know where I was at in my last video. I think I was waiting to be unloaded. I had like 20 hours to sit there to be unloaded before they would unload me. Where the hell was that at? That was in that was in Louisiana, wasn't it? That was in that was just outside New Orleans in a town called St. Rose, I think it was. After there, I can't remember where I went. I think I went to, I do remember. I grabbed a load at a Georgia Pacific plant near Shreveport, Louisiana. No, it wasn't near Shreveport. It was out in the middle of no damn where. Shreveport is where I stopped to get fuel. Was just outside of Shreveport, but northwest of Baton Rouge. I don't even know. I think it was Greenwood, Louisiana. There's a Georgia Pacific plant there, and I picked up some stuff and took it to Dallas, Hutchins, Texas. And from Hutchins, I went down to Laredo. I can't remember if I deadheaded down there or what happened with that, but no, wait a second. No, that was last week. I'm getting confused. I can't remember where I went from Hutchins. From Hutchins. Where in the hell did I go from Hutchins? Oh, I remember now. No, wait a second. Yeah, from Hutchins, I went to West Memphis. West Memphis. Okay. So I picked up something and delivered it to Clarksville, Arkansas. Where the hell did I pick up that crap to take to Clarksville, Arkansas? I think I picked it up out of Laredo, Texas. I think I went down to Laredo, Texas, and picked up a load and took it to Clarksville, Arkansas. And then Clarksville, Arkansas, I went to West Memphis, picked up a load out of West Memphis, and delivered that to Duncan, Oklahoma, to a Family Dollar distribution center. That's where I delivered this morning. And now I'm back up in Oklahoma City at the Niagara bottled water place, and they're loading me up right now. So I actually got home time this week yesterday, but it was only 15 hours. So I got home at like midnight, and I left, I guess it was 17 hours, because I left at 7 p.m. I left the house at 7 p.m. So 17 hours of home time. I got there at midnight, 1 a.m., somewhere in that area, and around that time, and I went immediately to the grocery store, stocked up on stuff for the truck, and then went home, ate, went to sleep, and got up the next day and did laundry and a whole bunch of house stuff that I needed to get done. And then at 7 o'clock, I drove down to Duncan, and I did my 10 hours off duty in Duncan. That way, after I got unloaded this morning, I would have my full hours available to me. It makes no difference, like, to me, if I sleep in my own bed or in this truck. They're both like the same to me. Like, maybe my bed's a little bit better, but I sleep very comfortably in here. But it makes a huge difference on my hours of service if I sleep down in Duncan rather than drive. It was approximately 2-hour drive down to Duncan. So if I would have drove down to Duncan, and then it would have started my 14-hour clock real early in the morning at like, I had to be there by 6 a.m., so I would have probably left at 3 so I could be there by 5. So I would have started my 14-hour clock at 3 a.m. And it would also put those hours on that day. There's a whole bunch of reasons, but mainly hours of service are the reason that I drove down there and spent the night in Duncan instead of staying at my house and leaving my house at 3 o'clock in the morning. But the Family Dollar store had parking on site, so that was really awesome. I didn't have to go find a spot to park. And got unloaded this morning, and then they didn't have a plan on me, so I had to message the driver managers and ask them for a load. They said I already had a pre-plan on me, but there was nothing showing in my load list, and they said that they were going to cancel that one and find me a better one. I'm guessing the pre-plan that was already on me didn't pick up until tomorrow, so they got me one that picked up today. And it was supposed to be ready by 1 p.m. I got over here at about 9 a.m. And I was just, like, I asked the driver manager to contact them and find out if the trailer was ready right now. And he replied back to me and said, well, it shows on there it's supposed to be ready at 1. It might be ready before that. And I replied to him and I said, yeah, I can read the damn, I didn't curse. I said, yeah, I can read the trip plan, or yeah, I can read the load information. I said, do they have a phone number or something where I can call them? And he said, no, they don't have a number listed. He basically just told me the exact same fucking information that's on my load that I have here. I mean, like, lazy bastard. So I just drove here and went ahead and came into the site, and they told me that they hadn't even started loading that trailer yet because they didn't have an empty on site to load. So it's really good that I showed up over here. Otherwise, I would have showed up at 1 o'clock and there wouldn't have been a load ready here because they didn't have a trailer to load. So when they told me that, I said, well, I've got an empty. And she laughed and she said, all right, well, we'll live load you then. So she, told me to sweep out the trailer and slide the tandems to the rear and get into door 48. So that's where I'm at. While I was out there sweeping out the trailer, I stopped by their dumpster to sweep the trailer, and their yard dog came over there and was like, do you have something to sweep it up with? And I was like, no. Well, he said, well, you can't sweep it onto the ground. And I was like, well, I'll figure something out. He said, it'll be easier if you back up to the dumpster. I was like, all right. He said, is there a whole bunch of stuff in there? And I was like, no, there's not much. He said, yeah, I can't have you sweeping it out here on the ground. I was like, no, I won't sweep it on the ground. I was planning on picking it up by my hand, but if that doesn't work, I'll figure something out. I won't sweep it on the ground. He's like, all right, you're good. I'm like, all right, thanks. I ended up backing up to the dumpster because the dumpster's, the edge of the dumpster is probably, I can barely reach it on my tiptoes with my arm fully extended, and I'm roughly 6 foot tall. So I'm guessing the top of the top edge of the dumpster is about 8 feet. So I went ahead and backed up the trailer to it, and so that I, like he suggested, and I, threw all the trash into the dumpster. After I finished sweeping it out, I drove over here to this spot to open my doors and slide the tandems, and while I was driving over here, he drove over right there where I was at and got out of his yard dog and walked around looking to see if there was trash on the ground, to see if I, swept it out onto the ground. Like, man, what a dick. After he did that, when he drove by right here in front of me, I waved at him and he waved back to me. Like, damn, bro. Protective. I guess he's just salty because a lot of drivers are really inconsiderate and do stupid shit like that, just like sweep their trash out onto the ground. But I parked next to the dumpster. I mean, I think it was safe to assume that I was going to put it in the dumpster. But I ran into a couple of people. When I was at the West Memphis terminal, I ran into somebody from my orientation, John, and he said that his experience when he first got on was that he was getting about 1,000 miles a week average, and he complained about it, and they got him a new driver manager. They moved him over to the training fleet, and he's getting prepped to become a trainer. And he said he's getting more miles now. He said everything's pretty good now, but he had to go complain on Facebook. And he told me if I'm having any problems, I should go complain on Facebook, and it'll get resolved. Man, that's I don't want to have to do that shit. I don't want to have to go, be loud in public to get anything done. If I tell my DM that, hey, I don't like sitting around waiting on, to be delivered. I don't make any money unless this truck's moving, so keep me moving, please. I expect them to, keep me moving. Occasionally shit happens, but, if nothing changes at all whenever I say something, I don't want to have to go and create public posts to to get them to do something, I'll just move to another company. I'm not that kind of person. But yeah, I'm just sitting here getting loaded. I'm trying to figure out how in the hell I'm going to do this load, because I started my clock whenever I left Duncan at what time did I leave Duncan? I left Duncan at 7 a.m. I got to this place at 9 a.m. and I went into the sleeper once I got here and started making food and stuff like that. So like, I've already started my 14-hour clock. I don't know how long it's going to take them to load me, and I cannot. My delivery location is 7 hours from here. I've already used 2 driving hours. Let me look at my hours of service here. I've already used, how many driving hours do I have left? I have 9 hours and 16 minutes of drive time. It's a little over 7 hours to my delivery location. I have 11 hours left in my work day. Here's the problem. The place that I'm delivering, Walmart, I cannot deliver early. Like, Walmart will charge USA Truck, like, I don't know how much money, like $500 or something, if I show up early. They freak out if you do not show up within your delivery window. And my delivery window is 12:01 a.m. until 9 a.m. Monday. So that window is past my 14-hour clock. I'm trying to think of a way to push my 14-hour clock back. I'm trying to think of maybe an 8-2 split that I can do. Like, I got like right now, if they take about an hour and a half to load me, then I can go ahead and just kind of chill out here and do the 2 hour. Now, if I remember correctly, on the 8-2 split, your 2 hour portion of it has to be in the sleeper. So I've been in sleeper berth since I've been here. And if I can stay 2 hours in the sleeper berth, then that'll be the 2 hour portion of my 8-2 split. Once I get to what's the place? Once I get to Harrisonville or where it is south of Kansas City, I will get there. What time will I get there? If okay, so I've got how long? My restoration right now has been an hour, so I only need 1 more hour. So I should easily be able to do the 2 hour sleeper berth. I leave from here, and it's roughly 7 hours. Let's say I leave an hour from now at 11 a.m. So I'll get there at 6 p.m. I can't deliver until midnight. So from 6 p.m. until 2 a.m., if I do an 8-hour sleeper right there, or if I do 8 hours off duty right there, then I'll be able to deliver at 2 a.m. And that's probably that's what I'm gonna do. That's my best solution to the problem, so that I can avoid taking a full 10 hours off and delivering at like 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I'll be able to deliver at 2 a.m. The only thing that sucks about that is my next load is probably not going to pick up until like 6 or 7 a.m. So I'm going to be starting my 14-hour clock at 2 a.m. Oh, anyway, it's my hours are like this. This is another poor trip, plan, or another bad dispatch that's going to screw me up. And I'm going to have to do all kinds of crazy hours of service crap to do this. And it's really just going to screw my driving day. I'm not going to be able to drive a full day. I'm going to get reduced miles. Like, how many miles am I going to be able to do today? I'm going to be able to do the 94 miles. They're only paying me like 80 miles of the 94 miles. You got to love being paid short mileage. The household goods. I can't believe any fucking company pays household goods. Like, that is so ridiculous. We have the technology to pay practical miles. A lot of companies pay practical miles. You still
don't get paid for all the miles that you run, even on practical miles. But household good miles, that's just insulting. Household good miles are zip code to zip code by shortest route. It's not quite like airline miles. It's not air miles, but it's like shortest route miles, zip code to zip code. So they screw you out of miles. Like that's a huge warning sign whenever a company pays household good miles. That is a huge red flag. So that's one of the reasons USA Truck is not a long-term option for me, and it's one of the reasons that I would not recommend anyone to go to USA Truck. I'm providing information about my experience with USA Truck, and if people decide that, I decided that USA Truck was the best option for me, maybe it's the best option for somebody else too. It sucks. There are things that aren't very good over here, but there are worse options out there. But anyway, I think I'm going to eat my stuff here and run all of this through in my mind and double check all of my math and everything on my hours of service to make sure that I can do this load the way that I think I can. But I've delivered to this place before. I remember that about a mile, like one exit past the exit for this Walmart DC is I think a Love's truck stop. So that's probably where I'm going to hang out for the night. The only thing that really sucks about that is I'm going to be showing up there at around 6 p.m. and that place is going to be packed. I don't know if I'm going to find a parking spot. I might have to do some creative, stuff to find a place to park, but I'm basically going to have to park there, and then, go make the delivery after that. But yeah, I'll go ahead and upload this and update as to the awesomeness that is truck driving. So, all right, thanks. Bye. And good luck with all the Wuhan virus, and I hope everybody's taking it serious, and I hope that you don't wait until it directly affects you before you start taking it serious. So, good luck to everyone as far as that goes, and I hope that financially that it doesn't affect you too hard, and I hope that we get out of this ASAP. I'm a bit of a realist. I don't consider myself a pessimist. I think of myself as more of a realist, and the data that I've seen and all the information that I've read and heard leads me to believe that this is something that we could be dealing with for a very long time, and it's probably going to, things during my lifetime will probably never go back to the way they were before this. So I hope that these optimistic people that say everything's going to be back to normal in August, I hope they're right, but I haven't seen anything or heard anything to suggest that that's a possibility. It just doesn't seem like it's backed up with any kind of information or data. It seems like that's just people being hopeful and making shit up. I think they're just trying not to panic people by saying that kind of stuff. But anyway, good luck to everybody. Bye.